City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And this video was supposed to be an NXT review, okay? I got a couple messages in my inbox and I got a few comments asking me, all right, if I could review NXT this week, all right? And I went ahead and decided, all right, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot, okay? It's not like I don't like NXT, all right? I watch NXT, like, every now and then, right? Like, if I just so happen to catch it, right? But for you guys, for the people, I tried, okay? And when I say I tried, I legitimately mean that, okay? I tried, all right? I went ahead, I changed my VPN to stream in the UK, right? So I was able to watch NXT on Netflix, okay? There's some free sauce for you right there. And I fell asleep. I was bored out of my mind. And then, okay, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot, okay? I'm going to give it another shot because on my TV, for some reason, it comes on like 2 hours after it actually airs live, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going to go ahead and watch NXT and I'm going to make this a thing. We're going to get through this time. And I fell the fuck asleep again, okay? It's NXT was boring as fuck yesterday, okay? Last night, whatever, okay? This recent NXT was so boring, such a drag, okay? I legitimately, I couldn't get through it, man. So we'll do a basic rundown of the show, right? Or at least what I caught of the show, okay? And then after we do that, all right, I will explain why the TNA partnership is ruining NXT and why NXT is just a legitimate jobber factory, okay? So let's go ahead and run down the show really fast, okay? We get a opening match between Stephanie Vaquer and Carmen Petrovich, okay? This match was a 50-50 time waster, all right? Yes, it was. We get those as well on NXT. Stephanie won by pinfall, all right? She hit something called the SBB, I guess, and she won by that. After she wins, Julia, all right, comes out, okay? These two international superstars, she comes out and she's getting ready to cut a promo, right? And when I say that this was one of, if not the worst promo segments of all time that I've ever seen in all my days, okay? In all my days, all right? Over the hundreds to thousands of promos that I've watched, this is somewhere along the bottom tier, okay? Somewhere along the bottom 1,000 of just absolute garbage, okay? Julia can't speak English. Stephanie can't speak English. So having them come out there and cut promos in English, all right, I get that this is NXT, so that's why I'm trying to give it, I try to give it a little grace here, right? Because these are young people, right? They're getting their feet wet, right? As far as being in the ring, being on the mic, etc., etc. Okay, so I tried to give it grace, but I could not give this one grace. I could not believe that this promo segment was commissioned, okay? Julia comes out and says, Stephanie, you say you are best champ, but I am best champ. And then Stephanie says, Julia, we are friends, but we fight to see who's best. And then they hold up their titles. And that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. Like, I'm not fucking bullshitting you right now, bro. I am not bullshitting you. That was the promo segment, okay? So, whatever, all right? we move the fuck on, right? What happens next is Lexus King, he's backstage with this giant fucking Heritage Cup trophy. Like, that shit is fucking ginormous. It's ridiculous how fucking big that trophy is, okay? And the fact that he's walking around with it is kind of hilarious, okay? But he's backstage and he runs into Obafemi, right? And he basically says that, you know, he got some match with Moose tonight. He's going to end up winning the X Division title because they're in his hometown of Cincinnati, all right? And he has hometown advantage, okay? So cool. We move past that. Next up is Lexus King versus Moose. This was pretty much another 50-50 time waster, man. Like, this is, like, I mean, there's not much more I can say about it. I mean, Moose won by hitting a pretty decent spear, I guess. And then Obafemi came out to cut a promo on him, where he basically said that in 2 weeks it'll be champion versus champion, right? At Roadblock. So there's that, right? And then we get a Shawn Spears vignette where he's breaking down how he got a couple of people to back him up, all right? And, you know, explains what he did in order to help them become the next best version of themselves, and how there's a new family in NXT, because I guess they're feuding with I don't even know his name, the Don of NXT. I don't even know his name, right? They're feuding with him. Tony D'Angelo, that's his name, right? They're feuding with Tony D'Angelo and his family, right? So, cool, I guess. Next up, we get like a social media video where they show like an argument between Kalani and Jada Parker. Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker, and that was cool, I guess. Next up, we get Trick Williams backstage. He's kind of brooding over the fact that he's done nothing but job out this entire year, basically. Javon Evans comes out to cheer him up, but Trick is not having it. Then Ricky Saints, not Ricky Starks, Ricky Saints, he comes and, tries to say what's up to Trick, and Trick's like, yeah, I heard of you, and he just walks away. So there is that. Jada Parker then gets an interview, all right, where she basically says that Jada don't play, right? Kalani got in the way of her match that she was supposed to have. I guess she was supposed to have that match with Stephanie, but I guess Kalani got in the way somehow. I don't know. Okay, they didn't necessarily recap what exactly happened there. So cool, right? Next up, we get New Quarter Catch Crew. I got NQCC on my shit, okay, in my notes, right? Versus the Hardys. Now, yes, it was great to see the Hardys. All right, it was awesome. I loved seeing the Hardys. All right. I mean, they haven't been on WWE and TV for 5 years, so I haven't really paid attention to what they've been doing since then. So it was cool to see them back. They ended up winning, of course. And then Santino Marella, all right, good to see him as well, right? He comes out, he sets up a match between the Harder the Boys and Fraxium, okay? Because Axiom and Nathan Frazier came out before Santino and basically were like, man, we're in the same ring, we're the greatest tag team in the world, and we're standing with the greatest tag team of all time, all right? And kind of just fanboying out there, right? And there was that, so that was cool. We did get a decent scene. I like that. There was actually a scene in pro wrestling. Oh shit, what? The mafiosos, right? The family, you know what I'm saying? They're in a restaurant, right? I guess the guy named Stax, he lost his match last week, and the Don is like, hey man, we can't win them all. You know what I mean? I appreciate what you were trying to do. You were trying to protect the honor of the family. But I'm going to go out there, I think he said next week, and I'm going to, make it happen. I'm going to do what it does, right? This other guy, I don't know his name, he butts in, he's like, but Don, what do you mean? Like, what's going to happen? Like, because Stax is like, aren't you hurt? You know what I mean? And he was like, but he's the Don. He can do what he wants. And then the Don is like, hey, man, chill out. Stacks is the underboss, so he gets a say in what goes on here. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the business for the family. And then that was that. Okay. Next up, we get Ariana Grace versus Lola Vice in a squash match. It was only like 2-3 minutes. Lola won with like this spinning back fist punch something, right? And then there was that. And then there was some kind of like confrontation backstage where the No Quarter Catch crew, they like got beat the fuck up by somebody. I think probably by the those four gentlemen that they debuted. I think it was either last week or one of these last NXT pay-per-views. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Next up, we get Eddie Thorpe. All right. In a vignette, I'm just gonna call him Eddie Twink. All right. That's what he looks like. That's what he is. All right. Nothing special at all. All right. And that's just, I don't know what this was supposed to, like, he's basically just saying that he's gonna fight Trick Williams, and Trick can name the time and the place. The fact that Trick Williams lost to this guy is the greatest burial of all time. There's no fucking way. This guy is smaller than me, fatter than me, okay, and he beat up Trick Williams. That's the ultimate burial. There's no coming back from that. Ava cuts an interview where she confirms the champion versus champion match, and then the main event is Wesley and Ethan Page versus Javon Evans and Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints, he won the match. He got the pinfall. I didn't even write that down in my notes. All right. That was the show. Okay. That was the show. All right. This show was ass. All right. I don't know. I might not listen to the next like inboxes that I get, the next comments that I get asking me to review anything. Cause if this is what y'all are showing me, if this is what's hot, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this is what's hot, I'm not here for it, dog. I'm not here for it. So I wanted to go ahead and jump into, 1 out of 10. This show was ass. This show sucked. Okay. I did not enjoy myself at all. There was ass all over the place. I love that part about it. But, and you know, NXT has the most beautiful women in the industry. That's just what it is. Oh yeah, Jordynne Grace also cut a promo. I forgot to write that down. Jordynne Grace cut a promo where she was basically just saying how she really wanted to be in NXT, and ever since, you know, she came last year, she knew where she was supposed to be. So as soon as it was time for her to sign on the dotted line, she didn't hesitate. Roxanne came out. For some reason, Roxanne Perez is back. Like, they got to stop doing this. WWE has to stop doing this thing where they just fucking have an NXT person get called up to the main roster, and then they're still dipping their toes in NXT. It's not either you in or you out. Okay, either you in or you out. All right, but that was that. All right, that was the show. All right, the show was ass. Now let's talk about the TNA partnership. Every person in NXT that went up against somebody in TNA, they lost. What does that do for the talent that is, supposed to be coming up to the main roster at some point? Okay, I'm assuming that they're building these people up so that way they can eventually one day come up to the main roster. What does losing to the B team, right? Because that's what TNA is. I don't care what nobody says, okay? What does losing to the B team do creatively for any superstar that is there trying to make a name for themselves? It does nothing. It only serves to hurt them, because most people in the audience, even though a lot of them are smarks, they still don't know who the fuck Moose is. All right, they know who the Hardys are, but the fact that the Hardys aren't on WWE television anymore, and they're coming out there and beating New Quarter Catch Crew, then like what does that tell the audience? That outside of WWE, that's where things are better. Okay, that's just what the audience perceives. Okay, that's what I perceive. That's what I saw. That's what I got from what I watched last night. So, really quickly on that, just this TNA partnership does not benefit NXT at all. Okay, if anybody is benefiting the most out of this partnership, it is going to be TNA, because anybody who is on WWE, right, NXT or otherwise, they just look weaker by comparison. All right, like this, I don't know where to go with this show because of how bad it was. Okay, but let's just jump into the third topic. Okay, the third topic is NXT is a legitimate jobber factory. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Right, NXT is a jobber factory in the sense that nobody that I saw on the show, besides maybe Lexis King and Obafemi, yeah, that was about it. Nobody else on the show did I really feel was somebody who could actually make it on the main roster. Because Lexis King, he's kind of like a cocky heel comedy act, right? I could see him being in like a Miz position, and not Miz's current position, because, you know, he's a fucking jobber right now. But like, as far as him, you know what I mean, becoming maybe a 2-time world champion one day, maybe a Grand Slam champion one day, right? I could see Lexis King being that, okay? Because he actually has some decent qualities to him. He just has to jump in the fucking gym, all right? Lose the beer belly, because that's not going to work for your boy. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then Obafemi, I mean, he could be maybe a one-time world champ. You know what I'm saying? Just a heel, big man that's just really good at beating the fuck out of people, I guess, right? But everybody else on the show, and I'm speaking specifically about the men right now, all right? Everybody else on the show was somebody that did not pop off the screen to me at all. And this is especially including fucking Eddie Thorpe. All right, this is especially including Eddie Thorpe. There's no fucking way you're going to try to convince me that Eddie Thorpe has any kind of fucking future in this industry. Okay? There's no way. Eddie Thorpe is garbage. All right? I haven't even seen a match of his yet, but I can tell you right off the hand, just from what I've seen, I don't give a fuck what kind of moves he can do in the ring, right? Eddie Thorpe is a garbage. And if he does get called up to the WWE, then he should be a jobber. And he shouldn't be anything more than a jobber, okay? In a Tozawa position. In a motherfucking a Ludwig Kaiser position. This motherfucker should never win a match one day in his life, okay? Eddie Thorpe is a short-haired American Pete Dunne. All right, I'm not here for it. I'm not vibing with Eddie Thorpe. Okay, so the fact that they're pushing this guy even slightly is absolutely crazy to me. All right, there's nobody on the show that exudes that star quality that WWE needs right now. Okay, these are just bodies. All right, these are just bodies that can be had on the roster, and that's not good. All right, what made the stars of yesteryear so good is that they had no intentions of being WWE superstars. Most of them had no intentions of going to be a pro wrestler. All right, what do you think about Kurt Angle? When you think about The Rock, when you think about John Cena, Stone Cold, like these guys, they weren't necessarily, like, wrestling was not the first thing on their list. For a lot of these guys in NXT, wrestling is all the fuck they've ever wanted to do. And that does not create stars, all right? Maybe a wrestling star, but somebody who can cross over to the mainstream and actually bring in an audience, right? somebody that the WWE needs right now, I saw none of that. Now, when it comes to the women, let me tell you something about them women. Bring them all over. All of them fine. All right? I don't give a fuck. All of them fine. Ariana Grace fine. Jada Parker fine. Kalani Jordan fine. Stephanie Vaquer fine. She just don't talk. Just don't talk. She fine. Julia fine. Carmen Petrovic even fine. Okay? Everybody I saw on the show that was a woman, fine. All right? We can all get lost in the woods together. You feel what I'm talking about? All right? And that's all I got to say on the women, okay? Just bring them up, okay? Because there's no woman on the WWE roster right now. Well, I won't say there's no women on the WWE roster that have sex appeal, because there's a couple, right? There's a couple, all right? Bianca Belair has sex appeal, all right? She just doesn't necessarily, she doesn't work with it. She doesn't work with it. Naomi has sex appeal. Tiffany Stratton has some sex appeal, right? I'm trying to think of anybody else. That's about it. Bring Jordan Grace up. She had this nice ass outfit on, all right, where it very much complimented her very well, all right. I look, I'm not into muscle mommies, all right, but I'll do the fuck out of Jordan Grace, all right? I'll do some nasty things to Jordan Grace, all right? Maybe just based off the outfit that she was in today, but she can lift me up anytime she want to. You know what I'm saying? She can lift me up anytime she motherfucking want to. I tell you what, won't be an argument nowhere near in this motherfucking household, all right? But besides the women because all the women, all right, either sexy as hell or they just got something about them, right? They got some kind of quality about them. They all have character, all right? Like, that's good, all right? That's what you want to see, all right? But the men, just garbage. Just simply garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe Wesley, right? If he comes over with those two big dudes, right? And they like are in a faction together, and maybe, but not even, because Wesley is like my height. You know what I'm saying? He's shorter than me. Like, there has to be some size here. Like, wrestlers are supposed to be larger than life, motherfucking. Like, Moose came out, he was 6'6", 300 pounds. Like, that's the kind of motherfucker we need in WWE, not these skinny, scrawny motherfuckers who, like, they got Javon Evans as, like, the next big thing or whatever. And I will admit, Javon Evans is very, very athletic. Very, very athletic. He can jump very high. Okay? But he does not have the look of a star at all. Okay? Like, Trick Williams has the look of a star, right? Trick Williams, based off looks alone, he could be a star. But Trick Williams is boring, right? Like, that's the main issue here with Trick Williams, is that he's boring. He doesn't really have a character that's to be, like that, where stories can be told from this character, right? He doesn't have that, all right? At least from what I've seen, right? He's a very generic guy, all right? And maybe we need generic guys somewhere in the roster, but guess what? There's already 40, 50 of them generic people in the roster. So it's like, I don't see what NXT is bringing to the table. All right, this is just more content. All right, and then on top of the fact that, we already have NXT, we already have these motherfuckers trying to get, developed enough to go up to the main roster, right? So not only that, we also have the LFG thing going on, right? Where they're trying to bring people up to the roster. And then the new show that's about to come out, the new NXT, basically, the Evolve, right? That's gonna be coming out, premiering on Tubi and shit. Like, there's too much going on right now where I don't see how NXT is actually providing a service to anybody, okay? All it's doing is keeping people employed, and I don't want to see people lose their jobs per se, but I mean, when you're stealing money from the company, you know what I'm saying? You're only drawing 500 to 600,000, maybe 700 on a really good day, good week, right? What is that doing, right? What is that actually? That's not pushing any needle. That's not bringing in no real revenue. That's not doing anything, right? So, yeah, I don't think I'm probably not going to watch NXT again based off of what I saw last night, man. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to stick to the main roster, all right? If somebody, catches my eye on the social medias, then I might just see what they're doing down there, but if not that, I'm not watching a full show ever again. This was one of the worst shows of wrestling that I've seen in a long, long time. So let me know if y'all watched NXT last night. Let me know what y'all thought about NXT if you did watch it. And leave your stuff, down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And this has been your boy, Nate the Great. Back with another one. And I'll see you in the next one. Hey.